purposeful forever. So, thank you guys for rocking with us. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. We're gonna have a great conversation today. All right. All right. Let's get into it. Let's be your favorite tune. Kick it.
Me and you together, our purpose for forever. Won't let nothing ever tear us apart. Me and you together, our purpose for forever. Won't let nothing ever tear us apart. Me and you together, our purpose.
There we go.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Wow.
Everybody.
This is hilarious.
Oh, so today we're talking about working together as a couple, working in biz together. Even if you're employed in the same place, working, but more or less working together in biz or even projects and things of that nature. And we're kind of going to share some of our experience um, and how you figure out kind of like your strengths and weaknesses as partners when working together. A lot of times, trial and error, or just even when you're just jumping into a project, one person takes one section, another person takes another part, and you figure out what's the most doable. So today, I just kind of want to talk about that a little bit. It's not going to be a long conversation. So feel free to ask questions or comments, anything that may spark a question that you're thinking about, or a situation that you might have encountered with your own partner. Hey, what up, Marcus? Good
Hi,
evening.
Marcus.
Good evening. So I'll start off. When it comes to working in business or doing a project together, we've kind of over the years discovered our spaces. Meaning, like, I'm more of the like on the kind of creative side in the sense where, hold on, like I can work, huh? You said what? No, that's what you're not gonna do is say stuff and then like I ain't saying nothing. Okay, see that's what we're gonna do. All right, fine. So working in spaces where it might be a little disorganized, being able to pull chaos together. Sam is more of the taking that, organizing it, and turning it more into a plan. So that's that's one aspect. Also, when it comes to sometimes I deal with a lot of more technical stuff. She deals more with the practical, meaning the hands-on, dealing with people, connecting resources and vendors together. When it comes to initiating a project, she runs like more of a supervisory role, whereas I run a more technical run around.
I tell him what to do. That's what you just said.
I did not say that.
You said more of a supervisory role. What does that mean? I'm in charge. Okay.
Anyway, so that's kind of a lot of our function. There are times that her thing is she can't operate when things get out of whack or anything in chaos and it don't make sense. Right. Okay, then share.
I can't operate. I choose not to.
Okay.
Operate.
What's up, Corey?
Okay, so the thing about working with your partner is it can become a lot because you live together, you work together.
Right.
If if you go to church or if you're in ministry, then you do that together.
Right.
And it's a lot. So on days like today, when it has been a very creative day for us,
Yeah.
and then we still have to come on live and be live and work together some more, it becomes a lot. And it can really test your patience and your, I'm not going to say test your love, but it can test your ability to show love. It could test, the physical side of your relationship. Because, when somebody done hit that last nerve, see, right, like this dude, it,
Make sure you share this
it
process.
can become harder to, be affectionate and be, close,
Right.
and it can ultimately affect communication. Now, of course, those are the downsides, and there are ways, to maneuver around those things. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of joking, but it is a lot. We don't let that affect our everyday because we have a goal. So when we're working together, there's always a goal. Even when he don't follow my directions just right, always our goal is to build something. Our goal is to be a team. A lot of things that we work on, especially as of late, is a part of us building our legacy, something to leave for our children, something to show them that you can be yourself and be successful.
Right.
So when you have a goal and you know what your goal is, I think it makes it easier to work together, love together, live together. For me, it's a daily reminder for myself to be patient. Sometimes, because like he said, a lot of times I do take the supervisory side of it. In other words, I tell him what to do. Um, so, a lot of times when you're telling somebody something or you're relaying something, how they hear it,
Right.
how they hear it, and then how they execute it could be very different than what you have in your mind.
Right.
So, I always have to remind myself to be patient and not just, trying to be like a little dictator running around, barking out orders, but that, we actually are a team. And sometimes his interpretation of what I said, even comes out even better. So, like Corey said, absolutely keeping your eye on the goal is important. Um, and then, love, you can find a deeper meaning to your love by working together, if that makes any sense. Meaning you see, like when we're working together, I always see different things about him. Like sometimes he sat in front of his computer, in front of his laptop, and he just looked like creativity is coming out of his ears. And he'll sit there for a while, and then when he get it, it's like he light up. And so for me, to see that, to see him do that, no matter how many times he does it, I always think like, oh, that's why I love him. So, there are good sides, there are bad sides. But like I said, remembering why you're doing it, it's always better to have your own something. If you guys are working together and building something for your household, for your life, it's nothing like having your own. Where nobody can't take it from you. It's as successful as you make it. That is priceless. So to share that alone with someone, that you love and want to have it forever with, that's priceless as well.
It's good.
A lot. Lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a great thing. Just sharing in part of, like you said, the bigger picture, working together, and I enjoy watching her put stuff together that to this is crazy. Like you're not sure what's gonna happen, and she She seems to and it's so funny. It kind of like relates to how she does in cooking as well. Like when we're lacking things and how she can pull something together, and you're like, I didn't know this stuff was even in the refrigerator or in the house, and just she pulls it together. So she knows how to take pieces and make a masterpiece out of it. So I do enjoy watching her do that as well.
No brand points.
Zero, none, none. But it is, it can be challenging, and like she said, the thing is when you're jamming like work and personal in the same space, a bad work day is a bad personal day. It's a bad personal day because it's, unlike when I go to work and I have a fight with my boss, when I clock out, I can at least come home to a different space. But if I'm fighting with my partner,
and you gotta come home with
I can't clock out and go in the bedroom and forget about what happened at work today. Then it can be challenging, or like we said, it can be a lot. But the key is just trying to separate and have just work conversation, meaning you don't let personal stuff spill into your business stuff as much as possible. You have the conversation about the project, not you got on my nerves with the trash earlier today that has nothing to do with what we're working on right now. It's kind of compartmentalizing those situations where we, like you said, let me put Corey's keeping your eye on the bigger picture and not focused on the small family stuff. That's the fight we have later in personal time later when we finish with our business. It's learning to work together like that can strengthen what you do. So I want to kind of encourage you, if you're thinking about it, if you have thought about it, if you're dreaming about it, like, oh, it'd be great for us to come together, know the pros and cons. Know that it's great, but it can be challenging. It can be challenging.
I will say this, like, since we've started like really working together on almost everything, which is a lot. No, since we started working together, like I said, on just about everything, this is kind of like the best job I've ever had. Meaning, like, this is, things that we have built together. These are ideas that we put together and make it happen. So, like, we go somewhere, we're talking to somebody, we're like, didn't I see y'all online? It's like, yeah, that was us. And don't get me wrong, it's not really about, trying to be famous or people seeing you. It's more about just knowing, yeah, we did that. Like, we did it together. Or, when we talk to a couple or do something for a couple and they're like, oh my gosh, that was great. It's all about the things that we've created together. So when I'm having a really good day or when things are really great, when the live numbers are up, when people are looking to us to do different things, it's like we can both be happy at the same time.
Right.
Now, of course, on the downside, when it's a bad work day, it's probably a little harder, because now you both kind of feeling that same pressure at the same time. And I think you kind of have to one-off it. Yeah. What does that mean? Meaning, like, almost like, okay, well, last time, he found the bright side. So let me see if I can find the bright side. I mean, I'd say that's kind of how I think of things. If it's like last time, he was like, all right, go team. We can pick it up and we can put it back together. And this time he looks like he ain't got a go team in him. Then I'm like, oh, okay, it's my time to go team. Because things, when they fall apart, it can affect you well into, the evening, well into whatever. And like you said, when you work and live and love all with the same person, the last thing you want to do is drag that heavy weight back into your home and then or into your bedroom or into your parenting. The bigger picture has to remain clear because everything that you have going on can affect everything else
that you have going on.
Right, like your business can affect everything else. So, it is kind of like a balancing act, You have to balance business and personal, or business and love. You have to separate. You can't just assume because we was together all day working on promos and logos and content that now spent quality time with you.
Right.
You can't. You have to, you have to be able to still spend the time working and then spend that same amount of time and energy loving on each other.
Right. I'm gonna keep looking at you. So yeah, so that's the gist of it. So it's just about coming together, and figuring out, what exactly you're trying to accomplish, what exactly you're trying to get to, and how you want to get there. And I mean, the thing is, it's and being realistic about what you can do, what you can do, what you're not really good at, and just being honest about it, because that can be a struggle at times. I know what you want to do, but your partner does that so much better than, why stress yourself over something that your partner can do, in less time? Because that's what it's about, is how quick can we get this done in the most quality manner. If I can do it faster, then just let me do it faster, and you don't have to worry about it. Now, like, she does learn things. Like, I learn what she does, she learns what I does, just so I can, just in case I'm not available, she can at least do the basic or do something with it, as opposed to having no idea.
I do better than basic.
See, you the same. Just having no idea. Because one thing as partners, you should kind of be able to know what the other one is doing. So if you're dealing with a client or dealing with someone else, they ask you a question, you're not dumbfounded. You can at least answer and know what's going on, like how to explain a certain thing that your partner's working on. So it looks like you're working together and not like separate departments. So that's key as well. That's key.
Honesty, accountability.
Right.
Being honest with one another about things. Don't just be like, "Oh, baby, that's great," when it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, be honest about stuff. Accountability, like, this was your task. Like, what happened? We were supposed to do this. Holding each other accountable is a big part of working together as well. And, everything should be done in love and respect.
Right.
And yes, love has to play a part in it because this is your mate. Right. So you can't turn into a dictator when you're working together and then think, when the workday is over or whatever, now we're going to be romantic, because you're going to blow your romance for the night at the very least. Right. So everything has to be done with love, with respect to one another. And like you said, what areas, you're good at, and then being honest with the areas that you might not be too good at. Always learning. Like, I don't just depend on him, like he said, to do certain things. I've learned how to do some of the things that he can do, and he's right, not nearly as well as he does them. But, I can cover him. I can have his back, and vice versa. Like, he's learned some of the ways I move when we're working. Some of the things, that I'll do, or some of the things, that I'll suggest. So it kind of works hand in hand. So it makes it easier to be a team, because you are a team. And I think, working together is can be an extension of your relationship. And naturally, if your relationship is in trouble, it's going to be even harder.
It's going to be tough
to work together. So of course, I think working on that side of it first, getting your relationship to a healthy place is an important part. I will say we have been blessed to kind of always be able to maneuver around each other, regardless of the nature of our relationship, which is so weird. But we just really can work hand in hand. So that's great. I wouldn't advise it because, it, although we did it, like the emotional side of it for me was like really hard because once, we got all the accolades and once everything was done,
right.
like it was very draining.
Right. We couldn't celebrate together in a sense because he was so broken that it just was hard to really enjoy with the spoils of your win. Like so it was difficult. Like we got a good job. High five. Welcome family. Yeah. Welcome broken family.
Right.
Welcome broken marriage that we pieced in. All right, we taped us. We put the little tape on us. All right, get over this so we can get this done. And we always had because we have been together so long, we have a friendship, so we know how to work through things and work around things, and and not dealing with stuff. We just kind of stepped around the elephant in the room and just got stuff done. But in the end, it's not healthy because what happens, and it happens even on the highest level with celebrities sometimes. Like you're so successful with things that you think your success is connected to your relationship and it's not, and you're just walking around stuff. But in the end, you're left with all this brokenness. So you got it. And so our recommendation, if you're in a relationship, definitely, if you think about business, you at least want to have your business whole. Let's see. Do you have particular time of the night that work stops, or do you discuss work at any time?
Whew. Well, okay, so I'll say for the most part,
thanks for that question. That's a good one.
Like because we do the lives, so like Mondays and Tuesdays, we could be talking content and comments probably till we get ready to go to bed.
Right.
And or till he falls asleep. Because those are nights, that we have the live. But typically, I prefer like once we go in the room and close the door, and we're gonna watch TV or whatever and lay down. I don't really want to talk about content or lives or comments. That's me. Now if if we're watching a movie and sometimes like a great idea, you see something, we may be like, let's write that down, and then we kind of But typically at night for me, when it's time to go and be husband and wife, I try to leave all of that stuff out. Is that like the same time every night? No. But Mondays, Tuesdays is just it's a wash.
Yeah, we try to keep it separate, of course, because of the nature of our content and stuff we do. It kind of meshes together because every moment she's like looking at something, she's like, "Oh, you guys need to talk about this tomorrow. Like this is good, this is a good topic." And I start typing it up, and and unfortunately, I got to
but then he go too far with it. So sometimes I won't even comment because I can make a comment. Now he going to get a laptop. He got no.
Yeah, I get.
I'm saying
ideas. When ideas start popping, I try to get it all. Let's get the full picture so we can have what we have, and then it's bedtime. But
so then sometimes I have to get like a brat. You want to know what that means? That means I start knocking stuff over. Literally, laptop, I will flip it over. The phone, I'll flip it out of his hand. Yes, I do. Is that the best way to handle it? Probably not, but he gets the point.
But so I mean, for the most part, once we close the door, we don't go deep into those conversations. We try to just talk about us and things of that nature. Watch a good movie, laugh and stuff like that, joke around or whatever. But most times it's more or less daytime stuff. And we try to get there like in the morning. We'll talk about content and things like that.
I don't even see my husband in the morning. When I wake up, he's already gone, preparing for his morning. When I see him online when y'all see him. That's when I'm sorry. He does bring me a cup of coffee.
I do sell a little coffee.
Yeah, but I don't really see him anymore. So I see him on the screen. So
but that's as far as timing. We try to do as much separate as possible because I realize it does with it meshing together. And like she said, work time is not quality time. So you gotta have
somebody say that again, but people with cheap seats. What did they put that in the comments? Put that in the comments.
Work time is not quality time. So we gotta keeping that separate space to actually have a relationship. It's definitely key. But yeah, that the timing is it does make a difference. And then you have to your work time. If you're working with your significant other, the best time for them either morning, midday. When their brain is
Yeah,
popping
we
off.
struggling with that because my most creative time is at night. That's when my mind is, and that's exactly what he doing at night. And I got ideas. I'm saying write this down.
I'm like, okay, I got it.
Right, and then for him, his most creative time
let's go.
Is
6 in the morning. Let's go.
When Jesus is up trying to answer people's prayers. That's when he want to get up. And I'm thinking that I don't need to be up with Jesus. I need to sleep a little more. So, yeah, we're working that part out of our creative flow.
So like by 5, God is like, okay, listen, this is what we're going to do today. Wake up.
But he talking to him.
Wake up.
God wasn't tapping me.
We is one, right? We got both wake up. Wake up. He talking to us. Wake up.
See, but God was talking to me last night. He talked to me first. And then he said, now sleep, daughter. And I'm going to tell him.
In the morning?
In the morning. See how that works? The Lord does everything decency and order.
Yeah, so that's just knowing timing is knowing. So knowing the strengths, knowing the good times to really talk, and make sure you make them separations though. That is crucial. You gotta make them separations. Don't let it drift in. I mean, there are times if exciting things gonna happen. You probably talk about it all day, all night. Just because you got your brain is going and you're talking. And as long as you're on one, but once one's like, tell them to clock out. tell them to hit their clock out. Then conversation stop. And revisit that. He said he definitely told you first.
Right. See
the tree and don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Listen, and don't be afraid to say no and not now. Right. Listen, if there was a meme that had a face of she just told me no, they would have this dude's face on it. Like sometimes, a lot of times, I have to remind him, no, babe, slow down. Not right now. Let's schedule better. Let's prepare. Because he has an idea and he just go gadget.
Go.
And
get it.
Sometimes.
It's good. It's a good one. Let's go.
Right. And then, I have to slow him down and have him look at it from all sides. And before we go. So, don't be afraid to be the voice of reason. Don't just go along with everything. Right. Don't be afraid to speak out, speak up. Right. Because this is the rise and fall of whatever you're creating is on the both of you. Right. So if you don't really put anything into it and then it failed, then don't say nothing. Right. And then, and sometimes even saying no, it might not have been a good no. Right. It might have been like one of those things, well, maybe we should have did it. Right. Everything is a learning experience. You're never going to be right all the time. Right. He's never going to be wrong all the time.
You know what? We're not going to do it. That's what we're not going to do.
But no, seriously, like I said, honest communication is really, really huge. Scheduling. Schedule. Don't even even if you're working from home right now, treat your home business like it's a business. We had to make little sacrifices and create one space to do this in. So you're not tripping over stuff in your living room. So that it could be, okay, this is where we go to do this. This is the time we do this. I'm a stickler for time. If we supposed to be on at 8 and something go wrong and now it's 8:10, I'm freaking out because we late. Right. So, treat it like it's a real business.
Right.
Schedule things.
Right.
Be on time.
Right.
Keep your word, even
Right.
to each other.
Right.
Like if you say, okay, babe, I'll have that by Friday.
Right.
Whatever that is, get it by Friday. Don't just be like, I ain't want to do it.
Right.
Treat it like it's a real business.
Right.
Because if you do that when you're building it, then it's easier to keep those practices going once it's grown into something, bigger. And of course, the objective is always to create something that grows and sustains. So yeah, definitely schedule things. Keep a calendar. We have a calendar that we keep when we invite different couples on. And we try to do schedule out a month of who we're gonna have on, so we know which week, who's coming, who's coming where. You're always gonna get people that cancel, or people that can't do it, or things that come up. But schedule, put things together, have things in place. You never know what what may change or what's needed, or if you just run it like you in your pajamas and you on the bed. How does it grow? Or what does it grow into? It becomes a struggle then to be able to get yourself together and present something to somebody. So, for us, if people wanted to see a history of, how we schedule things, how we put together, that's easy because we have it, because we laid a foundation. So, yeah, try to be as organized as you can be, even if you are at home, even if it's at home business, even if you're cooking or whatever. You should have a set part of your refrigerator where this is the food that I'm making that I'm going to sell, as opposed to, this is house food. And it may sound stupid, but you want to, keep things clear and, keep things separated and keep things in order. Last thing you want is to be putting out a menu saying you're making shrimp something, and your husband ate all the shrimp yesterday. Every minute that you have to spend running to the store or doing something, it puts you behind schedule. So organization is a big must.
Yeah, it definitely matters. You definitely have to do that. Like separation, and like you said, you operate it like it's a huge business. You get up in the morning and you get dressed, you get ready, you come online, or you do whatever it is that you do. It's you treat it like you have a boss. You're the boss. You treat it like you're yelling at yourself, like boom, and you're on time and you're doing the things that you should be to increase business. Because when it grows, it's easier because you already have those habits in place, as opposed to trying to develop those habits while your business is growing. And it becomes very hard, very difficult, and very confusing. Trying to figure out what's what, And if someone asks you, "What's your schedule like?" What's the?
I don't know. I feel like I look cross-eyed. Okay. I'm sorry. I kind of drifted off.
But we definitely, that matters. It matters a lot. So make that space, make that time. That's separate. Try to compartmentalize, the things that are business and the things that are personal. Like I said, it just makes it easy as you grow, and make the schedule. And yes, I suck at it, so I'm trying to get better at it.
Yeah, I didn't even.
I know she's gonna come out eventually.
Really.
Eventually.
You can't.
But no, but I'm putting it on myself. I'm the one that struggles with the schedule a lot of times, so we working together on that. It's because she's the more structured. That's my creative. Let's build it. Let's go.
Right. That's why I have a big old calendar that I grab out and start writing so he can see.
Right.
We play to our strengths.
Right.
I'm the scheduler, organizer. This go here, that go there, that go. Yeah. And so, that's kind of what I do.
Hey, Krista. Thanks for going through. Yeah. But yeah, so that's it in a nutshell. That's us working together. That's kind of where we at right now. Prayerfully, keep praying for us. We got some great things on the rise. And trust me, at the end of this journey, we're gonna have tons of content to talk about.
Listen, yes, there are definitely, like I said, there's some challenges with not really with us working together, but when you're growing anything, even when you're growing fruit,
yes,
food.
yes,
When you're parenting your children, there's always peaks and valleys. There's always those moments where you be like,
yeah, yeah.
and then those other
Hey, Keita.
and then those clapping moments. So,
Keita.
just know. I know you guys are like, oh, all you gotta do is click the thing and get up here. And I wish that it was that simple. I found out the hard way once I started doing this that it's not quite as easy as it seems. So we are building, we are growing.
Right.
Of course, nothing ever happens really as fast as you would want it to.
Right.
And then, honestly, to be honest, I'm not even sure how fast I even want it to happen right now.
Fast is like is good. It feels good, but fast sometimes can be a mess. So easy, when it grows at a good steady pace, you stay in control and you know what's happening, and you can stay consistent. So I'm cool with easy growth. Slow, steady, slow and steady, because it wins the race. What up, Jeff Roney? I didn't even know you up this late, brother. But yeah, so I mean, that's it in a nutshell. We just kind of laid out kind of a basic plan of how we've been building on this working together thing. Like I said, it's challenging, it's rewarding, because you learn more of your partner as far as the business side, the creativity, the things that's inside of them. That's always a good thing. That's and to me, what marriage is about, pulling out the best of each other. Because there's so much that we are to do in this world, and as we work together, it's definitely key. So, any last words? Anything you want to share before we get out?
I just want to reiterate, like Purposeful Forever. This is a relationship, marriage built show.
Yes.
It is so important to work on your relationship. It's so important to make sure that's healthy, because to be honest, 2 years ago, we couldn't sit here. Right. Because our relationship wasn't wasn't healthy. It wasn't like, a place where anything could go to grow.
Right.
So, because we were able, with the grace of the Lord, to reconcile and get our relationship to a healthy place, it gave way to be able to work together. Right. So definitely work on your relationship first. That's most important. Mm-hmm. Even for us, I mean, if it was like either do this or have your marriage, for me, y'all wouldn't see me anymore, because that takes precedence over everything. So working together or not, put your marriage, put your relationship first. Right. Don't make it about chasing a dollar or chasing some fame or notoriety, because those things are fleeting.
Right. Appreciate you.
People love you today and then they don't love you tomorrow. Right. People support you this week and then they don't next week. Right. So definitely put all that energy into your relationship so that you can be able to withstand being in business. Right. And then even if it, God forbid, fails, your relationship can sustain through that. Right. That you can shoulder that together and possibly rebuild and just go in another direction.
Be able to laugh it off and, kind of move forward. Like, man, I can't believe it happened this way. Be able to talk about it and just part of your testimony, part of your journey, instead of something that tears you apart or tears into your marriage or relationship. But having that communication, having that time, matters. Because if you don't, then when the business goes, it's like we don't have anything.
Right. You're looking at him like it's all your fault now, like it.
Right. So. All right. So we appreciate you guys again rocking with us, sharing, coming through. And if you haven't, make sure you tag somebody in this broadcast that may just need this information, because there are couples that are joining up, starting a business. I have been in business for a while and going through some things, and maybe they just need to see that they're not the only ones, because sometimes that's what you need.
I have a question. Yes.
Good one, Jeff.
It absolutely does help our relationship. I'll say for me, it helps in a sense that, sometimes I could be a little tiny bit stubborn. And, to get on here and be able to talk and be real and authentic, before we come on here, we have to be able to work things out. So, sometimes I don't get a chance to pout. It's kind of like, okay, we need to talk because authenticity makes a difference. Right. People want to see you really be who you are. Right. And, if I'm mad, when I come on here, I'm mad. And unfortunately, everybody would see that. And, it's kind of like, how are you going to tell me something? You're sitting there rolling your eyes and, pouting your lips the whole time. So it helps because it does, I'm not going to say force us to engage, but it encourages us to engage more so that we can really be the people here that you guys see.
Right. Yeah. And the funny thing is, this, what we do here helps us, as well as, honestly, the next level is when we get other couples on and they share. That has been like a huge blessing. Because it's bad now.
Really? So, we're gonna start with the cheap shots.
But I mean, a lot of the stories, if you go through our page, you see a lot of the guys that the couples that share their testimony and things they've been through. You learn so much about them, as well as building connection, because we want to be around other great couples. So it's kind of like our opportunity to get a testimony online, get them to speak their story. So this has been a huge blessing. Like, understand, this is not just some brand that we just doing. It is that, but it's more us than anything. Like, and I agree with her. Like, if it was this or just us, it'll be us, because I've been enjoying this journey of us coming back together. That's actually what I said. It's great. And like I said, we go through moments where where everything ain't great.
Oh, thank you.
And
you guys do a great job.
Thank you. But it's the authenticity when days aren't the best.
Yeah, like today was a lot. Like, we are trying to put together this business deal. And it was a lot, and both of us kind of felt it a little bit today. And so then it's like, okay, we gotta go live, and I'm like, I know, but it's a lot. That's why I said a lot. The first probably 10 minutes.
We're a little worn out today.
Today
mentally, we're drained.
Right, it really was a lot. But the best part, of it though, is that regardless of what happens in a boardroom, in front of whoever, like, when we walk out hand in hand.
Yeah.
And I know that regardless, if you don't like my ideas, if you try to steal my ideas, whatever it is, I know he got my back.
Yes.
And that does lighten the blow. That you're not just, it's one thing to kind of get a rejection and you by yourself.
Right.
Like if you went to an interview or something, they're like, oh, no, we don't think you're a right fit.
Right.
And you walk out of there like, what just happened? But, to be in a room with somebody else, and this person got your back and think you dope, and they're like, oh, well, we don't really like that idea. It's like, okay.
Right.
He like my ideas. That's kind of, that's kind of how I feel about it. And it makes it a little easier to swallow.
And before I go, let me just tell you something. So it took me really a while to realize this. So when you're in business, and if you've ever had the opportunity, man or woman, to have a physical job, like lifting or moving or stocking or whatever, and don't go, and you like, I think, and you think you're tired, like, I'm worn out. I'm telling you, trying to be creative, trying to do business and trying to do deals, using your brain so much is tiring. It's a whole, because I used to think, I get out of this physical labor, I'm gonna be good. Oh my gosh, I'm like worn. With content, talking, creating, setting up. Oh, it's a mental strain. Like, you realize like why the president goes like he goes
Not
and looks,
this president.
except this one,
Not
looking
this
like one age and then come out looking like 200 years old. If you look like, especially Obama coming looking all fresh, then you look. Because that mental, I'm telling you, the strain, and this, I'm not saying I'm the president kind of style, but it's just, I realize that mental work is serious. It's serious. But yeah, just as a note, just like if you think you're getting out of that regular stocking job and then going into your business, oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Oh, I ain't lifting that no more. But whew, it's just good. Like today, this ain't nobody talking to you, Siri.
Okay. I did want to say one thing that I don't think I said is integrity.
Right.
Is a lot. Integrity, like for you, for your business, hold your mate to being integral. Like when you doing business deals, when you talking to people, don't try to take the easy way out. Don't compromise what you believe, who you are, what you stand for. Integrity. I mean, for me, I would love to have some things open up, but if it's not gonna be right, I'm not putting my name on it.
Yeah.
So like, and holding your spouse to that standard. Like, don't be, this is gonna be some quick cash. Integrity matters. It matters so much. Because when people, even when people see you on here or you run into somebody, you want to be able to look people in the face because you have done things appropriately. Don't ever let that be what somebody say. Like you don't have no integrity. Like integrity. When people submit stuff to you and do things, have integrity.
All right.
Yeah, that was my last one for the night.
Integrity.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. All right, we're gonna get out of here. As always, as we like to close out, love intentionally,
love unconditionally,
and love on purpose. All right, guys, we'll see you next week, Monday.
Me and you together, our purpose for forever.